Hi everybody and welcome to the latest edition. Today we've got a watch. I don't know if you remember the Pasadena that we did, but we've got a build here for actually the owner of that, Billy, who's been eyeing up the various builds with desire and fascination. So he'd spec'd this one out, and I'm now going to build it for him. We've got the Velux is unfortunately reflecting quite badly at the moment today, but we'll just have to live with that, never mind. It is what it is. So we've got a Captain Willard with a green bezel and a black chapter ring. The chapter ring is already in there. I can't remember anything about that. I think actually this was the one where we set the bezel, didn't we? And then realised that the movement that we'd got was not a 4 o'clock movement. So the bezel's already set, the chapter ring's set. The difference today, or the new thing that is going to happen today that we've never done before, is I'm going to be using these, which are dial dots, which are very small stickies to hold the dial on, rather than using the lugs on the back of the dial, because for this particular dial that Billy's chosen, which is apposite for manta mods, because there's a couple of manta rays on the dial there. Yeah, this is not got a setting for a 4.1 dial. It's not got the lug that's really very close to 3 o'clock stroke 9 o'clock. So we're going to have to cut all of the lugs off, and we're going to have to use dial dots. Well, I've never done that before, so you're going to learn with me today, and I'm probably going to fuck it up massively, aren't I? But we'll see. Obviously, the two difficult bits are potentially sticking the dial dots to the date circle, and that not moving. And of course, more importantly, actually, is lining it up with 12 o'clock. What I've done actually is I'd sort of done my best. I'd pushed the crown into the holder so that it's against the stop there, and then I'd done my best really to measure 12 o'clock and put a mark on the holder. So yeah, 12 o'clock relative to the crown going through. You can kind of line it up fairly roughly, and then look at the date number, because if all things are equal, the date that's nearest roughly 12 o'clock, your mark to line it up should go straight through the middle of that number, and that should mean that the window at 3 o'clock, so that if that's 12 o'clock, the one at 3 o'clock should go, the number should sit absolutely in the middle of the window, and it should mean that the 12 o'clock line is marked up absolutely correctly. But that's the theory, that's my theory. I've not read that in a book or anything like that. It's just my pragmatic theory on this one, and of course it could be a total crock, so we'll see. And actually the dial's going to be the first job, so I'll stop the video and restart it, and we'll get on with it. Alright, so first job as ever is snipping our little friends the lugs off the dial. So I'll do that, try and get them nice and low to the dial. I mean, I'm assuming actually that yeah, they're all off, aren't they? I am going to file them down, but I would have thought with the dial dots you don't really need to, because what the dial dots are going to do is create a bit of distance between the face and the movement, which, you know, when you're using the lugs, won't be the case. So, but I'll file. I'll just get my little friend here. I'll take the movement out of the way so that we don't get any dust from the file into. It's just a case of filing until you don't feel any more resistance from the bit of lug that's left proud. So that's those two. And then what I'll do is I'll obviously clean that. That's that one. That's that one. Obviously clean that with a bit of our watchmaker's friend here. Make sure there's no dust that's going to get into the movement as a result of that. And then I'll bring that movement over. So that's where we're going to set it. I'll just put it at a slight angle so that I can see that better. That's good. Okay, that's that. And now, I suppose the first thing is the old dial dots, isn't it? So it doesn't really matter where they go on, I don't think. And I think we'll probably have 3. I might have one at sort of 6 o'clock and then one at 2 and one at 10. So I've never used one of these before. So this is going to be super interesting. I mean, I literally don't know how to get them off. They're not sticky. So there must be, yeah, I mean, they effectively must be like double-sided sticky tape. So they're not sticky on top just yet. So it's probably a case of lifting them off and putting them on to the face. So if I bunch it like that, and then I'll probably pick one off with a, oh yeah, the sort of, and then they're just going to want to be right on the edge of the dial, thus. Check that that's not overlapping significantly and therefore going to be a pest for the, you know, when I try and put the movement into the case, into the watch case. So we'll go for the next one. Put that one on about 6 o'clock and see handily the dial markers. down. Push that one down as well a bit. Okay, last one then. About there. Yep, it's not overlapping at all, that one. All right, so that's that. And then I think we'll just check the amount of well, it looks pretty handy like that does. What we'll do, we know it's 18 at the 3 o'clock, so that's how I'm going to line it up. The you know, the pinions for the hands obviously kind of centre the dial pretty well. There's a little bit of play in that, so there is a, you know, there's going to be a definite need to line it up. And then, yeah, I know that with 26 for the 12 o'clock, I know that we're 18 is definitely on 3 o'clock. So I'd say those are the reference points that are going to help us. What I now need to do is get the, I really don't know what to use to get the to lift the bit of double-sided off the so I think maybe like a Stanley knife blade is going to be the most likely contender for this. It's quite a delicate operation, as you see, but that's working. I'll take the rest of it off with the tweezers. I'm not convinced I wasn't just lifting the whole dial dot off that. That's that one. All right, so that's the sticky back plastic lifted. Now I can just take those off with the tweezers. So they're exposed and hopefully sticky. Right, I'm only going to get one shot at this, so it's got to be absolutely cockus on us, hasn't it? So I think what we'll do is I'm going to stand above it and I'm going to place the 18 window where I want it to be. That's the first. Right, now I'm just going to go around the dial with my eyes and make sure that I can see equally the grey, as it were, of the dial surround, and then I'm going to press the dots in. Oh, fuck me. Oh, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the date where it is. Oh, so that could be good. Could be good. Might be shit. We're gonna find out when we put it in the case, aren't we? Right. I'll stop the video again and we will move to that little job. So obviously the first thing to do is whip the crown out, and then we can do our usual job with Manuel and put the case down on him and turn it over that way. But what I've got to do first is take the crown out. Now I normally take this out with my teeth, but you'll have noticed that I've invested 9 of your earth pounds in buying a proper movement holder to work with, rather than this one, which was the sort of one that you have to tighten up every time. So that was £9 well spent. I can turn it over with the face on without worrying too much about scratching it, because the only place where it's going to rest is right around the very edge of the dial, which will be under the chapter ring. So it's not a big problem. What I'll do is make sure that's pressed in so that the lever is exposed. Take that out, and then we can pop that upside down on Manuel. I just need to make sure that it's in the middle of the video so that you guys can see it. I'll turn that round to 12 o'clock, and then I will offer up our okay. That's not looking bad, is it? I'm going to turn it over now. Centre that up for you. I've got to, let's see, take the crown out. And now I'm going to get a crown stem and put that in there and then stick that in the case. So bear with me for a second. Okay, so I've just wound a little stem into the crown, which you didn't need to see me do because you've seen it a couple of trillion times already. And then I'm just going to make sure, waggle that a bit so it's dead in the middle of the hole. That'll give us the right spot. And then just going to press that in. Make sure we're there. Should be. Let me just see if the lever's not visible, is it? Oh no, it is visible. So we should be okay. So I'm just going to put the case on so that the movement doesn't move when I put it back over, and then we'll just put it back over and see if everything lines up nicely and looks nice, basically. Sometimes these are a bit awkward, aren't they? Just wondering if that's the right case back, actually. Probably should be. I think I've got the wrong one on there. No, I haven't. So, yeah. God, get in, you bugger. There we go. Alrighty. That should press the face up against the So it's not brilliant. It's not brilliant. I think it's looks like the face is a little bit around. So I'm gonna have to alter that. God, I thought it was a lot better than that. Maybe moved a bit when we put it into the, oh fuck. So those dial dots are obviously shit. Look at that. That's what's happened, is moved. Fuck, that's a ball ache, isn't it? I suppose the only thing with that is that if I'm able to just move that round very slightly. It does raise a question mark as to whether those dial dots are any fucking good though, doesn't it? That's the problem. You know, is this gonna move again? Where's 18? So where's Manuel? There he is. That's 18 there. So what I've done is I've moved the dial . Well, that looks like a bit of a, okay. I'll turn this over again now. I'll put this in, put the crown in. Okay, that's in and winding. Now I'm going to press the movement down. Where did we have the dial dots? We had them at, so that's 4 o'clock. This is 2 o'clock up here. So we had a dial dot here. So what I'll do is I'll press the case on at 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock. There. And then at 6 o'clock down here, make sure that's nice and tight. Okay. Well, that's as good as I can do. Fuck it. I don't know if I'm really very pleased about that, because it just feels as if the dial's loose. The dial dots really aren't that good. Fuck's sake, come on. Fucking thing. Twat. Get on. Fucking hell, that's a pain in the arse, isn't it? How fucking tricky is that? It can't be that fucking difficult. Maybe I'm undoing it. Maybe that's why it's difficult. Right, there we go. Back in Land of Dreams. Okay. Okay. Right. First thing to do, for the first little check that I'm doing, is just take it around and spin the date over. There. Well, that's right in the centre, isn't it? It's not quite lined up with the chapter ring as much as I would have liked it to be. It's a mill off, which I'm kind of hating. But the stem is, as I think you can see, is directly through the centre of the hole, which is absolutely how it should be. So I don't think there's not really very much opportunity to move it very much, unfortunately. It would mean bringing the dial round which I think the date window could cope with. Decisions on that one, I think. So I did take it out again, and I thought what I'd do was I would put a few more dial dots round, because I wasn't convinced by the stickiness previously. And what that's led me to understand is that I'd probably just taken a skin off the cover of the dial dots rather than exposing the actual dial dots themselves. So when when we were putting white on, or the dial on with something white showing, what I realised was, in actual fact, that as I said, I'd not uncovered the dial dots significantly, and actually they're clear like sellotape. So I don't know whether you can make out the new ones that I've put on the movement, and I've also exposed the ones that are properly that are on the dial now. So it's got more dial dots on it than soft mic now. I'll just show you that. Just take off the cover on the last one and expose the dot itself here, so you can see that now. Hopefully, hopefully there's enough magnification in the camera work there for you to see that. So I'm now going to go through that rigmarole. I know that 19 is 12 o'clock now. I can double check that just by putting the movement and putting that in there, and then lining up the 12 o'clock marker again. Yeah, so 27 is 12 o'clock, and is 19, or is it 19 or is it 20? That's the question. I don't think it's 20. No, that would be 27 is definitely the one. So it's 19. Okay, and we want the top of the 19. In order for this to be good, we really want the top of the 19 to be at the very top of the window. That's kind of the learning that we got from, don't want to be that much up the top, but not so we can't see the top of the 19, but more geared towards the top than the bottom. So that is appropriately so, I think. So I can press that in now, and I suspect that that's going to be much much more Oh, now where's Manuel gone when you need him? There he is. Hopefully this is going to line up an absolute treat. So I'm hoping this is going to be the last iteration of putting this in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a second to clean the glass very thoroughly inside and out. So the glass is absolutely clean. I'll just do the last few dabs of the face, make sure that's absolutely clean as well, which it is. And then I'll drop the case over. It's not 100% in the right spot yet. So I just need my tweezers just to pull the case round into its correct position. I can see the 3 o'clock hole there. So let's just bring that round. So the crown hole, I should say. Yeah, that's not yet right. So that our friend the crown is nicely lined up with the inside. That's good. So that's in the right spot. Just press the case down a bit. It's riding high. A minute. That's probably about right. Get the crown in. Just make sure that that's dead in the middle of the hole, which it is. And then look at that. Oh, look, and it all lines up. Oh, everything's lined up. It is perfezione. Well, would you Adam and Eve it? That's great, isn't it? Very pleased with that indeed. Okay, so I'm happy with it as it is, and I think the next little job is to, we might do the crown actually as we've kind of got to that spot, but I still need to put the hands on, obviously, which I wasn't going to do until I was absolutely sure that we got the face lined up. So with that in mind, I think we might as well just do a bit of a crown and stem measurement, and we'll just do that piece of work actually, because it is where it is, isn't it? So I'll put the doodah in there, push that up as hard as possible, open the verniers as far as possible, and it goes to 6. Don't know if you can see that, 6 millimeters. So we need to take 6 millimeters off the stem in the usual way. So I'll take the stem out. Jolly good. And I'll unwind this bit of stem. Didn't seem to unwind very far, that, did it? I wonder how far I'd got it in. That's probably as far as I took it. So, you know the score. We'll get a bit of blue tape. We'll mark up using the blue tape where I need to take it off, which is at 6 mil, which is kind of consistent, I'd say, with some of the other ones that we've done. I might give it 0.5 mil just in case. That's pretty well it, isn't it? It's there or thereabouts, isn't it? It's maybe just the 1/2 mil of extra that I probably want actually. So I'll get the pliers. Make sure that's going to cut it where I want it to be cut, which it is. I'll take it out of the way of the watch. There you are, you could hear that being done. It's probably left a bit more than I wanted. Just have another bit of a snip at that. There we go. So you can see on the underside that we've taken that off to exactly the right spot. Probably knowing that we've got 1/4 mil extra, and then just I'm going to take it away from the watch while I do that. You know what's going on. I'm just going to run that around the file, just to sort of dome the end, take any burrs off that are going to prevent me from getting this in without it being nice and well, I mean, you know, without threading it basically. Probably ought to be doing this with my right hand, but that's getting on nicely, look. It was getting on nicely, or whether it was just spinning in the yeah, that is on nicely. Okay, try that in the actual crown slot. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's winding the watch without going onto the screw. Now I've got it on the screw. Will it? Yeah, and it goes up nice and tight, so that's beautifully done. That works. So we're slightly out of order, as I said, out of the usual order, but we're going to take the crown back out now, take the movement out. I'll put the movement back into the holder. I'll put this gasket into my gasket greeting box for safekeeping, and we'll then move on to putting the hands on, which is, you know, my favourite job, as you all know very well. Let me just whip that crown back out while you're watching. Leave that there. See if we can find Miguel again, and probably actually don't need Miguel for the. What I've got to do is just tap that out gently now. Might have to spin it a little bit with the with our friends here, you know, just to lift it out, lift this movement out. They do go in nice and snugly, which is good news. Means that they're less likely to rattle about in the case. But I'll fetch that out and I'll put it back in. You don't need to watch this. Okay, so onto the hands then, and I've got them out and put them on the little cushion there with the face back in the holder. I suppose I ought to put my face protector on, although that face seems to be pretty robust, I have to say. Got my hand pusher. That's kind of the smallest setting on the hand pusher. This one's probably, it's a bit wider and probably better for the hour hand. Just look for my Rodico to pick up my friends. Oh, and I suppose the other thing we should just do is make sure we're at 12 o'clock actually. So I'll just go for another date change. So we're on the 20th. I don't know if you can see that. But so that's changed over. I'll put the protector on so that I can see. It's not going to work, unfortunately, the protector on this one, because the dial markers are so raised, they're higher than the hour hand pinion. So I'm going to have to do the hour hand at least without the protector on it. Okay. I don't like doing that because it does, you know, it can scratch a bit the face. We should be all right with this one. I'll see if I can just move it round. These are plastic, obviously, these tweezers, when I'm messing about with this kind of stuff, so they won't scratch the face. Just want to really line that up with 12 o'clock, absolutely. It doesn't really matter because I can kind of just tweak a little bit with the push it on. So I think that's good. That's really good. So we'll go for our friend the minute hand. Make sure that's the right way up. That is the right way up. Did the same little job with that one. It's not quite over the pinion yet. Oh, it's not working very well, is it? It's on, I just don't know how. Oh, there we go. That's it. I tell you what, that's as good a lineup I think as I've ever managed. So just like that. See if I can get this. See if I can get this second hand on without too much bother. Jeez. Go on, I never had anything to drink last night, so this shouldn't be quite as difficult as it Seems to be trying to make it. I think that's on. Soon find out, because it'll flick off if it yeah, that's good, isn't it? Just make sure that they're all lined up nice and straight. Oh yeah, that's lovely. So I'll just go around and make sure nothing's impeding anything. Yeah. The only thing that's impeding anything is going to be my thumb while I hold it down. Okay. See if we get around to 12 o'clock. Absolutely. Oh, I tell you what, that's the best one I've ever done. Definitely. Definitely the best I've ever done. Oh, and I can turn this over, knowing I'm not going to knock the hands off and bend them, because I've got a new bit of kit that I've told you about already. I can press that in to reveal the lever, take the crown out. Just going to leave it upside down for a second while I make sure that the watch face is as clean as clean. Yeah, so I can't see any dust in there, which is consistent with the fact that I've not left it upside down for dust to fall in. Two, look under my mirror, look under my, yeah, that looks okay. Put this down. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to check again in my, oh, do you know, I think I can see a bit of dust. Might be a bit of an optical illusion because this face is, it's got a bit of, it catches the light. It's got some texture to it, I suppose is the best way of saying that. My little friend out. Put that in there. It's moving in quite freely now with it being having gone in and out a couple of times. Of my the gasket. Oh, I tell you what, I reckon I'm going to be going for an early cup of coffee here. This is good. I'm going to put a Milanese strap on this for Bill. I think he'll quite like that. That's kind of his... Oh yeah, that looks great, doesn't it? Really nice. Those hands go so nicely with the markers, don't they? It looks like a very resolved watch, not really a mod. It's very nice, that. I'm just waiting for a few straps to turn up. We did this one the other day. I'm going to take the strap off that and stick it on Billy's, because I think he might come around later to have a look and see if I can get him up to speed. It's got those quick release lugs on the pins, so I'll drop the old pins out. They're the ones that came with the case, and I will put this in. That's the top. So I can't locate. It's located into one side and not the other. That's weird. Might be a bit further down. There it is. Is that in? Must be. Located there. Just got to get my thumb in and press that down. Do you know, it might just be easier to put it in with the tool, you know. You get the tool on that, yeah, there we go. You fucking bastard. Come across that issue of it not wanting to push in if you it's just a case of finding a location. There we go. Yeah. There it is. Okay, there's the finished article, hopefully without too much Velux window ruining your view of it. And yeah, very pleased with that. So we got there in the end. Dial dots are something that I don't want to use particularly, but obviously come in handy when they have to be used. So that was a learning for today. The rest of it's as usual, and another nice watch build there. So hopefully we'll have a satisfied customer. See you next time.